Hi folks, welcome back for the third tool made from this fine piece of flint, and the image that you've just seen was called the Hoxne Handaxe, and that is noted to be about 350,000 years old, and some people describe it as an Acheulean, but because it's so pointed and the sides are slightly invert, I describe that particular hand axe as the ficron-style. This is the first hit. Now there's a flake, well there's two flakes. So we'll pop that bit down, and I guess we're using that bit. That might be the dagger that some people have been talking about, but that'll have to come a little bit later. So who made the ficron handaxe, the Hoxne Handaxe? Who was actually in Britain 350,000 to 400,000 years ago? Was it heidelbergensis? Or was it Homo Erectus? I've often thought about that hand axe, and as you saw in the picture, which I'll show you again, it's very, very pointed, and that makes the end of that hand axe quite weak, you'd think. But was it being used for cutting? Was it being used for separating bones? Or was it actually, for once, being used as a weapon? We'll make it and we'll see what we all think as a team, I think. We run along here and abrade this edge, and we can use that soft hammer that I made just the other day. We should be able to pass some nice long strong flakes from that. It's a pretty unwieldy shape, but that's what I've got, so that's what we'll use. I'm eating soft hammer here, and that kind of goes to show a good reason for taking that edge back. But I'll work with it, why not? As you'll all know, if you've looked at any hand axes, some of the flaking is quite beautiful and elaborate, and as much as this soft hammer's misbehaving, I'll see if I can get the best from it. That flaked out okay on that side. Let's repeat that. funny because if it was Homo Erectus that made this, he must have been a fairly well-equipped individual, or she, because their species lasted much longer than our species stands to last. They were here on the planet probably longer than any of the other species, 2 million years as I understand things. So I wonder if this was the ultimate tool of their defence or attack. You can really see why I like to round these up now, because this is slightly less than efficient at the moment. I think this particular hand axe was actually found in 1737, and the person who found it was probably one of the first people that ever gave it a presentation to ancient people. Before that, all of the hand axes that were found were called thunderbolt or elf shot, and never really considered any further than that. And it was over 100 years later that his views were actually taken seriously. So as much as he was right, I guess in his time he was considered a little balmy for his opinion. Oops. As you can see, this tip is now getting a little more delicate. Chances of breaking it off are getting higher and higher all the time, particularly if I can't get this soft hammer to behave itself. And the time scale on it as well goes up. The other two hand axes that I made are literally made in anything less than 3 to 5 minutes. This could take 20 minutes to really pull off that detail. So everything we've made from this flint so far has been Paleolithic, anything from 1 million down to 350,000. I didn't visualise just going and making lots of hand axes, and the hand axes we could make, that would be interesting, But I think one of the special things about the hand axes is the wonderful patina that they gather over time, and I can't match that. We're going to move forward into the Mesolithic next, then into the Neolithic, and see what other tools we can make as well. This is a cast antler, and as you can see, it's a bit bold in the middle. Normally I like them when they when that shape is reversed, because you get a lot more different shapes to the hammer. I'm completely bound to cast all the flakes off that wall, which is a little bit tricky. The other thing worthy of note about Hoxne is it's again on the riverbed that I talked about in the first movie, which is the old Bython riverbed, which is no longer there, and seemed to be a mainstay of places to go and hunt, a place to live, which makes a lot of sense. You want to do well in a prehistoric survival situation. It's coastal or river. Go where the animals are drinking. I just can't get the detail that I'm looking for with that soft hammer down on this tip, so I'm going to change tact. So I'm really visualising this as a puncturing tool. Seem to have got the point. Back has turned out quite nicely with this squared off butt, because your hand just lands there just nice. So this has turned out a fraction shorter than the real thing. That was bound a little bit by the actual flake cast itself, but as you know, these are one-shot movies, So it's literally what you get, that's what you work with. Again, working with tools that I've got. I could improve them, but it's what we're doing purely for this film, so that's what we're working with. And that, in this case, is my attempt at the ficron-handaxe from Hoxne. There you go, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Cheers.